option was at my door. They even shipped it for free, so I only ended up paying $7 for everything. After taking one tablet, the results were incredible. It kicked in within 30 minutes.
It's the next morning, and there's a plane. Great. They'll live by airport too. But anyway, this is what I'm walking out to.
This unit right here. Oh my gosh.
Just can't get over it. Over didn't have to stay outside last night. The zone garage is loaded. I guess my garage door is broken. It's not real. It's weird. It's literally okay. Anyway, we get the GGTR. Lighting's in the house, mostly because it is packed full of car parts. Yeah, they want to leave it outside. And the wagon's here. Two of my kids' favorite car. There's so much in the back of the lighting. This was it's full of it's kind of a mess, but me and my boy got this running last night. We did small engine stuff in the neighborhood, kind of like the sun's side of the job, actually. Anyway, let's do a post there. I just walked into Dean's Performance. This is pretty cool. He's got a Cyclone, but it's like a race car. Basically, there's literally nothing in it right now. And he's got a C43 AMG project that he's working on too. And of course, Mustang's in the back for sure. Oh, very nice. There we go. There we go. Getting on the dyno, looking pretty. We're calibrating the dyno right now. Batteries added traction on the tires. It's like a VHD spray. That's pretty cool. All right, so Hans from Dean's Performance is on the phone with the tuner. So he's a remote tuner, and they're going to do a bunch of logs. We have a wideband connected, and we'll go back and forth. Alright, we're kind of like hit a limit there. The motor went a little crazy. So we did hit a rev limiter, which the tuner put in on purpose at 3,500 RPM. So that's gone now, and I think we're going to make it like 5,000 RPM. It's just one of those every angle looks cool type of cars. Oh, and I know I talked about this in the last video of potentially doing this in black. I decided against it. I do think it looks pretty good. Anyway, pretty good. I think it's really good. But most of you guys said the same thing in the comments section that I answered in the last video. Let's just don't leave it alone. I think this car still has innocent things that kind of break it up a little bit. Anyway, here comes the front part. Horsepower, 497 foot-pounds of torque, at only 3,300 RPM. That's what makes these things fun. And the graph looks amazing. 11.5 AFR right in there. What do we got for a boost here? Is that about around 15? Okay. We don't have the 5 now. Okay. Okay. What's typical for my combination for power? Typically around 415. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Alright,
what's up?
5,000, we're going to raise it up now. Alright, here we go. Run up to 6,200 RPM. Because we have a stock unported blower, it does lose efficiency. So we're seeing about 15 peak, but it drops down to probably, about 14-ish. And it went a little richer, so we'll have to fix that up. Oh, wow. We gained a lot on that one. 469 horsepower, 507 foot-pounds of torque. That is crazy. And that is actually with lower boost, on the top end, just because it's running out of steam, basically. But with a little bit more fine-tuning, we were able to gain a ton. That is crazy power, especially for having a stock unported blower. All we have is the larger throttle body and the 2.7 pulley. That's it. That's really good. Power 473, 508 foot-pounds. Wow, look at that, about The tuner is team viewered in right now, so if you see stuff change and us not doing anything, that's why. Or there's a ghost. Look at this, we get notes from them. It's pretty cool. Okay, we're all done. So the tuner said that's it. Everything looked good. Yeah, just a really nice smooth draft. This is perfect. And I know sheet. All right. Thanks, I appreciate it. All right. We are done here at James Performance. Hey, let's go drive this thing. Let's like really drive this thing spirited. I mean, leisurely. Oh, we're back. We're back in the 90s, early 2000s right now. I think I was saying, looking at me like, this is weirdo. Filming me right now. I like yours too. It's like we're back in the 90s, too, though. That looks good. I like it. So, yeah. All right, I made it back to the shop. Something I want to fix before we go to the rollers and get this thing started. The spacers, my fitment is off a little bit.
Most people are too lazy to do this, but it saves homeowners a fortune. I worked in construction for 20 years now, and it's shocking.
And it's off a little bit. It's not horrible, but we're getting some poke. I don't like that at all. I want to try and get it in a little bit. Well, luckily this thing has adjustable camber plates, so we might be able to camber it in just a little bit. It still has positive camber right now, so we're a little negative. And maybe it'll fix it. I don't know. So these are maxed out, but you can actually flip them side to side. So if you do that, we'll be able to get more negative camber, which brings the wheel in that way. So we'll give that a try. Start off by loosening up the center. Now you have to hold it with the Allen first. Don't have a 22 wrench, so it's just take some time. It's all nice. This will come off. This will come off. It's nuts. Now just have to pry this off. Alright. That slides off like that. And you can see these are offset, so you can put them to get more negative camber or stick with positive camber, which is what most people do. Okay, I've got the driver's side on. And with the wheel lifted up, you can really see what's going on here. So that's negative camber, positive camber. So, max it out, negative, back and then a left bit. Alright, slow this thing down. Ooh, that is much better. Maybe the stance has really want to go. Oh, we back to how it was? Like, that looks pretty good. Alright, I'm gonna do the other side, drive it around a bit before I let it settle. I'll take a look. Alright, I just took it around the block to get the suspension to settle, and I think we're looking pretty good, guys. I mean, yeah, like it was definitely poking out like crazy, and if we go really close to the black part of the fender, it's just right there. I already needed to get an alignment anyway, so I gotta stop off at the alignment shop, but it's driving straight, everything's fine, and she's looking great. Let's go try it. Let's see what this thing feels like. It feels awesome. There's no wheel spin at all. A lot of that is on launch, but when you get going too, you can get a little bit of that shudder, and it is planted super solid. It's about 70 degrees right now. It's super sunny, but we aren't getting much traffic. That is for sure. Let's see, second gear pull. Woo! This thing rips. So addicting. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. And now its tires are warmed up, it's moving up like second group. Awesome. I forgot to mention the brakes. The brakes are amazing, guys. They stop so well, and I put some really good tires on here, some Continentals. So yeah, overall this thing is just super planted. I mean, it's awesome. All right, so there's a first here. Let's see. I'll snap and snap. And snap. Yeah, Terminator Cobra, people. These are so cool. So the brakes work well, the wheel hop kit I think works well. Let's try a little bit of a launch here. It's probably going to spin just a little. It's too much fun! It's totally controllable too! Like, I know there's the whole stigma behind Mustangs like crashing into crowds, but you can feather it and it's fine. It goes in a straight line. I mean, maybe because I have all these bushings done and the good tires and everything else. So what I love about this car is that we can have as much fun as we want. It handles well. It's got a ton of power. It makes all the right noises. This might be even louder than the Hellcat I get, as far as the blower goes. But you can just drive off in comfort. The seats are super comfortable. It's got a rocking factory stereo. It looks amazing. Just this is why the Terminator was so special. It was different. It was too bad that it was only around for 2 years. Like, they should have started making this earlier. Like, don't get me wrong, the 99s and 2001s are cool, but they fixed literally everything with this car, and it's something I've always wanted. The supercharger's like a button. I always get this thought in my head when I drive cars like this, that this is why electric cars cannot take over, especially in the enthusiast world, that they're struggling just in the normal world as well. But they have nothing on this. This is too much fun. It'll never get old. Never. Oh, we got a tunnel or a bridge, whatever. Oh, yes. I don't want to say.
What if one simple tune could turn constant itching into complete comfort? This is what would happen if you gave your dog a porphy allergy and immune chew every...
Yes. I don't know what to say. That's all I can say. The car said it for me. Oh, I'm staying at Verge on the highway. It's not my fault. But let's talk future plans for the Cobra, because what could be done right now? It's got the wheels, it's got the power, it's clean, it's just I could be done with it right now. But I'm also Alex from Legit Street Cars. I have a problem. Welcome, Alex. Yes. So do want to go for more power at this point, because this engine can handle a lot more than 475 or whatever it did wheel, and ARP head studs. Not that was an issue on this, but someone already upgraded the head studs, which is kind of asking for it. So with these, go with a ported blower and long tube headers, and probably be around 550, 560 wheels. So that's a big jump from where we're at. Or we could just go Whipple or Kenny Bell or something like that. And then I think guys are running 700 wheel with essentially a stock engine and perfect drivability, and you don't even have to do cams or anything. So I don't know. I think what I should probably do right now is just enjoy the car with its power and with its looks and everything, and then revisit later. But let me know in the comment section, what would you guys do in my situation with the Cobra? Leave it alone, do some more plans on selling the Cobra. It's pretty awesome, I must say. Well, I'm back to where started. It started at an auction. It didn't start here at all. This is just kind of where I do a lot of my outros. No dumping. Okay, one last look at the Cobra for this episode. What is your favorite generation Mustang? I know the new edges, some people are love or hate, mostly with the GTs. I think everybody pretty much loves the Terminator, but maybe because it's my era, I don't know what it is, but I think this is an amazing looking car, and with a few improvements, they can look even better than stock. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of the Terminator. And that'll do it for this video. I really hope you've enjoyed the Cobra series thus far. This won't be the last time you see this car, especially if you follow me on Instagram and on Facebook. I post up pictures and little short videos all the time. You can see updates on some of the cars that maybe you haven't seen on YouTube.
don't hurt my feelings. Don't hurt me. A couple. What you feeling? How old do I look?
You look young as fuck, I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, I'm a big boy. You like big boys?
I do.
Oh, okay. Nah, that's real. That's real. But no,
How old are you though? 7, do you know how old I am?
I'm not too far off. You little. How old?
I am 34 years old.
Why you lying?
I swear to God.
Listen, 34 not making them like that.
Huh?
34 not making them like that.
I know, right?
I thought you just younger. But that's not scaring me.
Huh?
That's not scaring me.
It's not scaring you?
No,
It's scaring me.
a little bit. Okay.
So we can be friends.
Yeah. Close friend. I'm gonna call you Miss Giggles,
I like that. You giggling?
Yeah.
I like that.
You like that?
How old are you? When's your birthday?
October.
October, okay.
When your birthday?
I'm an April baby.
So you're what are you guys? Crazy?
No, I'm not crazy. Sweet. Come on, bring your phone.
What is it?
Is it white?
How old you are? Looks like she lived in this car. Ford in the process of a patent application for self-driving cars to drive away from their owners.
Alright, so I recently just watched somebody's car get repoed at a Walmart parking lot, or it might have broken down. Hopefully that's the case instead of the car getting taken away, but either way, it was getting towed out of there, and that inspired me to take a look at the repo market again, because it has definitely been booming. 2024 car repossessions have increased 23% compared to the same period in 2023, and are 14% higher than pre-pandemic levels. And I think this is the case because of two different reasons. People buying cars that are too expensive, way overpriced, they can't handle the payments in the end, and the other side is the cost of living for some people, losing absolutely everything they have because they can't afford it. And we're going to see clips from both sides. I mean, people living in their cars and then also getting $80, $90, $100,000 trucks, realizing that the payments are a lot more than they think. I also have some comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured in a future video, leave it in the comments down below. But we're going to start off this video with a pretty accurate clip of the car market, because how long has it been since, what, 2022, 2023? We've heard that the car market's going to crash, everything's super expensive, we just got to wait, and now it's 2025.
I was wrong. A car market crash is not happening anytime soon. As much controversy that surrounds the car market crash happening, as much data car market crash happening, as much data that we can pull to say that delinquencies are higher, repossessions have been never higher, car prices have been never higher, and in terms of new auto loans, they're downright predatory and expensive. You would figure that'd be a recipe for disaster and a recipe for correction, but no, I underestimated some consumers could be, because at the end of the day, people are still signing these loans, people are still buying at these car prices, people are still accepting high interest auto rates, people are still allowing to roll over $20,000, $30,000 negative equity with little money down, people are still not budgeting correctly, people are still wanting to show out and not show up and understand what is going to really affect them in the long term and future.
And honestly, I 100% agree. We can look at the comments. People think a $900 a month payment is okay and acceptable. Selling people cars they can't afford will lead to more regulation in already over-regulated industries. It's coming. So I get this in the way for thinking of it in the '08 financial crisis. I mean, anybody with a pulse somehow got a mortgage for some sort of house that they had no business affording. And that's why everything ended the way it did. And then it was very difficult to get a mortgage. You need to have really high income. There was very strict barriers. But if you already take a look right now, especially in my comment sections for the cost of living, anything with houses, because of how expensive it is, people are getting loan amounts for way more than they probably should be compared to their income levels. I'm not saying right now it's just as bad as '08, but it kind of seems like it's a cycle. Everybody gets screwed in '08. There's a whole bunch of regulations. auctions, the banks tighten up, and then they slowly want to start making even more money, and they start lending out even more to people who probably shouldn't. And it's the same thing with the car market. And I didn't even realize the next comment was basically what I said. Same for housing. Never going to be a crash if people keep overpaying. People would rather continue to look like they have money than actually have money. And I think the next clip is a very good example when you start walking through the repo lots for these auctions and looking at some of the vehicles that were taken away.
Just pulled up to auction. One of you guys DM me that works here and said that you guys have tons of repos coming in, that there's no place to even put these repos. So let's check some of these out, see if we can buy them. First up, we have this 2020 F-250 Platinum. Brooklyn truck, has 30,000 miles. Next up is this 2020 Chevy 2500 Z71, real nice truck. So we have this 2017 Ram 3500. It's got 280,000 miles. Fairly clean for the miles, but yeah, guys, make sure if you buy a hotshot truck, pay your note, because then you have no work. Next truck is a Chevy Trail Boss. It's got wheels, suspension, lifts, all the good stuff. Everybody wants to put nice wheels, tires, lift on these, but never pay their car note. Deep Wrangler, bigger trucks, more lifted trucks. There's a whole row of these trucks right here. I'm also adding this one to the list, 2021 GMC Yukon Denali. These sell like hotcakes. But I'm seeing tons of these at the auction. They repo as well.
Pretty sure I see an M5 up here.
Oh yeah.
And this thing still has a car sticker on here from Mazda. Like 3 at the auction. Wow, it's sitting so low.
I think it's amazing buying aftermarket parts for your vehicle when you don't even own the car. So if you lose the vehicle and it gets repoed, all of the parts go with it. You lose even more money. That's great. But what was an overwhelming majority of it? Large pickup trucks, the Yukon type vehicles. I mean, look at how big some of those pickup trucks were. The 250s and 2500s, all the lifts. We're talking minimum 60,000, probably 70 to 80 with some of the trim level in any of the aftermarket parts. We're talking $1,000 a month for these babies. We can look at the comments though. Some people find it better to take a hit on credit and let these go because they realize dealers have absolutely wrecked them on their sale price. Pay $90,000 for a $55,000 truck or take a 7-year hit. I don't know, 7 years seems pretty rough to me. I get it. Way overpriced. However, if you did get screwed and paid way too much for a vehicle and then on top of it had all the aftermarket parts like we saw a lot of them, you're just putting yourself into a deeper hole. But as a reply from the creator, it's really up to the consumer. However, they're still liable for the negative equity when the banks sell the truck. Yeah, I didn't even talk about that. But the second half of the comment, even if it does get repoed, it's not like you're 100% off the hook. So if you owe $50,000 and the vehicle sold for $20,000 at the auction, they'd still be on the hook for $30,000. The person who got repoed. So it's not like it hands off, I'm done, I'll just reset and I'll try to find another vehicle. You'll still possibly owe a ton of money. And on top of it, you don't have a vehicle anymore. I mean, it's the worst situation. But we have some comments from you guys in my older videos. No one's talking about the predatory financing practices. Anyone with a pulse could walk off the lot with an 84-month term loan. I do agree with that. That's what we were talking about before. Previous videos, we're starting to see a lot of people with 84 months now, not even 72. However, the reply I agree with as well. Part of it is widespread financial illiteracy. Most people are stupid with their money. I know it's pretty blunt and pretty straightforward, but if you're walking into a dealership having no knowledge and your goal is to just have the lowest possible payment per month that you get from any one of the salesmen, you could have the 72 months, 84, 96, and think that, you know, it's okay. I'm just paying a couple $100 way more than any of the normal 36, 48, 60 months. And tons of people are ending up getting screwed even more. Hopefully that's what these videos help some people realize how crazy it could really get, looking at other people's stories and how much they kind of got screwed and how much they're paying. And hopefully you guys won't make the same mistake. Now this next clip I'm putting in for anybody in some sort of similar situation getting their car repoed, because this could possibly save you a lot of money.
It is a $80,000 Ford F-250. We want to get out of it, but whenever we take it to trade it in or to sell it, we are offered about $10,000 less than what we owe on it. It's a dumb decision to let it get repossessed.
What's Kelly's website?
Simple. I only pay $10 a month for my internet connection. Fast, unlimited, anywhere.
Have you heard about Ryoko Pro? This is the cutting-edge portable Wi-Fi.
Kelly's Blue website I'm probably for.
Kelly's Blue Book says 34 to $37,000 for trade-in or $40,000 for selling it outright, and we
And you owe 80?
well, we owe 58 on it.
Oh, 58. Right. And who do you owe the 50 to back?
It's our federal credit union.
I want you to go to the credit union in person and tell them the problem to the manager and say, we don't want to repo this.
Right.
We want to sell it, but we don't have the $10,000. We want you to set the top for 48. We're going to give you the whole 48, and we're going to sign a note and pay payments on the 10,000.
Okay.
That is better than a repo. Here's why. When they repo the truck, they will sell it on a repo lot for 24.
Okay.
Deep discount on a repo lot, agreed?
Yes.
And they're going to sue you for the difference.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't realize that was...
Yeah, the deficit, it's called, the lack of money that doesn't get paid by the sale of the vehicle. They're going to come after you for it.
And I just think many people don't realize this. I know we already saw this a little bit earlier in the video, but I just want to hammer it home so people know. But maybe this could end up working out for you. I mean, why not give it a shot? It's better than getting it repossessed and then owing a lot more money, especially if you go in person and be totally honest. Hopefully they'll be able to work out the deal with you. Here we can take a look at some of the comments. She was thinking repo meant she could just forget the problem. There are many comments like this next one that you could kind of read between the lines and understand. I had this issue, then my truck got stolen a few weeks after I got gap insurance. Gap insurance and go by the hood and leave it there. One tip, gap insurance, use your imagination. Gap insurance in a tree takes less time and hassle. I'm not telling you what to do, but there are many of these comments scattered throughout any of the deficit, negative equity in cars. Even though this is insurance fraud, I don't know how common this actually is, but the sheer amount of comments I've seen seems like some people actually do this. But the next video is another edition of the you own nothing and be happy type of lifestyle I guess we're all going to have in the future. Everything's subscription based and renting, and somebody else owns everything, and soon enough they might be able to control your cars.
Here's another reason to make your car payment on time. Ford in the process of a patent application for self-driving cars to drive away from their owners. After a series of missed payments, Ford's proposal will force the car to drive itself to a repossession agency. Having the car drive away would be a last resort. The patent application shows Ford would first pressure delinquent owners by disabling some of the car's features like air conditioning or having the audio system play unpleasant sounds. Wow! All right.
So this is just in a long line of what all of these manufacturers have been doing for years now with subscription-based features and add-ons. We're supposed to trim levels, but years ago, BMW tried to start this with the heated seats and $8 a month, $12 a month. It's not that expensive. Everybody lost their minds and BMW pushed back, but then it slowly starts coming back in the future. And that's exactly what's happening here, because I bet everybody right now will think, oh, this is ridiculous, this isn't going to happen. But in the next 5, 10, 20 years, when more and more cars actually become self-driving, this kind of stuff can become a reality. And I know a whole bunch of people will say, well, I'm just not going to get a Ford then. I'll get some other vehicle. One person plants this seed right now, even with a whole bunch of pushback. Eventually, when this kind of stuff gets implemented, every manufacturer starts to do it. It doesn't matter if it's an economy car, American, Japanese, luxury, does not matter. This is just the beginning of what we're going to see in the future. Now, I'm not saying this is going to start happening in a year or two, but I really don't doubt with how bad cars and manufacturers in general have become over the past, 5 years, that it doesn't start to get so ridiculous where they could basically control your car. And I know this is supposed to be for repos, but virtually anything that's connected to the internet can get hacked now. It doesn't matter if you're part of the government or some of the biggest social media platforms on the planet, somebody will find a way to get in, and apparently they'll be able to start controlling cars. Here we have a couple videos back to back from the same user that definitely takes it to the next level of predatory financing with just a crazy amount of months. Scroll it real quick.
Look, guys, this is what happens when you miss 3 payments. Repo your car. Do not miss your payment. You're going to repo your car.
Okay, so what he just said, 3 payments missed, and they repoed the car, right? This is the same user, if you watched my previous high car payment videos, that have the astronomically high both monthly payments and the length. I truly just didn't believe. I thought all of these were skits. They were just getting random people to be in the videos to make it look like they got these payments, but there are so many of these videos that I don't really know what to believe anymore, because we also have like adjacent content creators doing stuff similar we'll see in this video as well. But this is the same user up on screen right now, 530i with 300,000 miles, $1,000 down, $590 a month for 325 months. I mean, it's so unbelievably ridiculous that I just truly can't believe it. But there are many videos from this person. So let's say that this is somehow real. 325 months. You missed 3 of those payments, it's getting repo. It's gone. If some are truly this financially illiterate, I mean, this does get into the realm of just being predatory because of how misinformed people are, I guess is the way to put it. But here's another one of the clips that I was saying, the adjacent type content.
Hey guys, that's gonna drive. Today we have Miss Rashonda to approve of 335 Rashonda, how was your experience? Great. Listen, pulling off the road with just 10 miles on the dash. You're on the market for a vehicle, you don't know where to start, just shoot me a deed at this time and you can drive it out today.
With the clip also saying, I had a free and only have $1,000 left. Now this person did not pull the payments up, but oh, this must be rude. Some of the comments, the payments are going to be like $2,000. Repo man already looking out for this. If she didn't pay for the last car, you know she's not going to pay for this one. I still know that it is the consumer's fault. You're writing your name on the dotted line, especially with a repo. It's almost in the same vein of the people in cycles of credit card debt, getting in and out, jumping back and forth. But as a car salesman, you know that this person probably has the worst credit, unbelievably high car payments, and are likely not going to be able to pay this off. It's one of the many reasons. Ever talk a little bit about the other reasoning of why car repos are up, more of a depressed video.
When you get a vehicle repossessed, this is what it looks like. She's even got photo albums over here. Kids, I don't know how old these are. These look like she lived in this car. I found a rental application as well.
Style and substance. In the GMC Sierra, GM employees with a current eligible GMC lease get this low mileage lease on the Sierra for $199 per month.
So real quick, we can go look at some of the comments. Somebody's whole life is in that car. Please give her her things. That's her whole life. This is so sad. So I still believe that most of the repos that are happening now are people overpaying for cars and not realizing how bad the payments are. But there are still some where all of the cost of living videos that I've made, the inflation, how difficult it is to survive in general. There are many who have taken to just living in their cars. And this isn't the cool, Mercedes Sprinter van where they kind of do van life, even though it's still like a $56,000. And they could technically say that they live in their vehicle. This is somebody, what was that? I think that was a Honda? No, it was either a Nissan Sentra or an Altima, so not like the cool off-roader van life. This somebody who was desperate, basically had nowhere else to go. I mean, there was an application to rent an apartment in the car. We can take a look at another comment from one of you guys. My coworker's car got repossessed while at work. I was so embarrassed for him and really hitting everyone hard. Actually, no. Over getting up whole fleets of cars, putting them up on Turo like they were a pseudo rental company, and it was kind of working out for some people, not really so much for others, but right now it's kind of in the dumps. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos talking about it. However, if you don't have that car that you listed out paid off, which most people don't, it's still technically not allowed.
If you're thinking about starting a Turo business, watch this video before you do it. If you guys haven't heard, banks like Bank of America and Ally have actually been raising my cars that are put on Turo. If you read in your contract, it states that you are not allowed to sublease vehicles without letting the bank know. I don't know how, but these banks are finding the cars on Turo and they're just repoing. Pretty much, hey, you're subleasing this vehicle, it goes into the contract, things reach out to us. But now it sounds like they're just going straight to pick up the car. So before you decide to start your Turo fleet, I highly recommend what bank you're using and take this into consideration.
So, and like I said, it's not nearly popular as it was a couple years ago, but there are still some gurus trying to peddle courses and telling you to buy a fleet of vehicles. And it looks like some banks are cracking down on this. Some of the comments from this video, if the bank is getting their money, why do they care? I get that, but a reply, if it's being driven for commercial use, there's a lot higher chance that they could lose their asset in an accident. Not saying that I agree, but this is their reasoning. Another reply, they force us to buy insurance, which does also make sense for crashes, but normal insurance doesn't cover commercial driving. So even in the event of an accident, they'd lose the car, the asset. Again, never said I agree, but that's their reasoning for it. So most likely a very small minority of the overall repo crisis. But maybe some of those people who did take the guru's advice and bought a whole fleet of like Teslas or something along the lines of that to rent on Turo could possibly get screwed because they have no idea that it's actually not allowed. We have another comment from one of you guys early morning 2 weeks ago. Repo team hit my street, one street over. 3 records and a spotter car. In just a few minutes, they snagged a Camry, an Altima, and a Challenger. And I could really only see the percentages getting higher to 25.
Mario, the repo line in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to check out these repos. Murano, Kia Forte, boom, Camaro RS, 23 Camaro RS. And yes, all as far as your eye can see behind me, these are all bank repossessed vehicles. 2021 BMW X6, bank repossession. Ooh, got that beautiful mocha interior. 2022 Dodge Ram, 2022 Chevy, 2022 GMC, new Elantra. There's Gus right here. Got a new Honda Pilot. All these are newer cars. These cars are only about 2 to 4 years old. And there are plenty of them being repoed because people are over leveraging themselves when it comes to the car payment, not understanding how much interest is, and not really understanding what they're committing themselves to financially for the next 3 to 5 years.
So this one is a little bit different than the first clip where it was primarily, the big SUVs, the big pickup trucks that were very expensive. We saw Kias, we saw Corolla, we saw Hondas. Almost all of them were from 2020 to around 2023, 2024. The exact same time when all of the dealer markups were ridiculous for no reason. It wasn't just because they had a special trim, it was just market adjustment price. And there's extra thousands of dollars onto a Corolla. Or like the Kia K5, any of that. So everything ended up being overpriced. Not just the big F-250 diesel that was like $80,000, $90,000. So we're going to start seeing every type of vehicle that was bought in the past few years with the higher sticker price winding up on repo lots more and more often. We can look at some of the comments. There is no buy within your means anymore. $700 to $1,500 monthly payment is ridiculous. The biggest issue is insurance. We didn't talk about that at all with any of these clips on top of how much everybody's paying. The insurance went through the roof too. I'm actually going to look it up. Between 2020 to 2024, motor vehicle insurance rates rose by about 54%. That's insane. 50 more percent on the exact same coverage with a vehicle that already had dealer markups. Honestly, if you don't have a ton of money for these car payments, you're going to get screwed. Here I have another clip talking about the actual repo guys. Some people end up getting slipped. They're definitely not paying the car payment. They try to start hiding the vehicles or making it very difficult for a repo man to actually get to it. But when somebody does this for a living, they are a lot better at it.
Woke up this morning to my client telling me to look at the shit. Get over here. This is the most toxic thing I see. This way. I can't tell a car. But guess what's going to happen? I'm still working. Let's get this next line. I know y'all think this special effects. This is not special. I'm moving that fast. I'm outside her crib like Sonic the Hedgehog right now. I look like I should be working on a NASCAR speed race 500 when I move this car. Running out, jumping in the car. Like, that's literally what the client told me. Like, you should be running out, jumping in the car. Like, not on me. I'm out here like Sonic with the super speed. Let me show you what I do. Bam, look at that right there. Gapper. When I see that car, it's coming with me. That car's on my list. It's coming with me.
Some of the comments are pretty crazy too. You used to work at a repo company in the office and we repoed a motorhome that someone built a deck around, and we took the deck with it, taking their entire house. Wow. Used to do repos with my stepdad, had a woman change her car to the Porsche. Man, that was a long day. I think we talked about it the last time. If you really had difficulty finding a job right now in the job market, I think repoing for the next few years would be a pretty booming business. Now, I'm not saying that any of this is going to be smooth. You're dealing with people who are losing their vehicle, basically all of their transportation if you're talking about the US, and things could get pretty crazy and honestly dangerous on the job. So we can take a look at just some of the clips here.
Repo in HTX gone wrong. Viral video.
Is it what? We're going to finish off this video with a couple comments. This is for those who believe all of those shows are fake. Now, I know what he's talking about. It is so unbelievably over the top. I think Chris James made a video about one particular that was just unbelievable. Of course, you know, it's reality TV. They're hamming it up, but it's not nearly as cut and dry as just finding somebody's vehicle and towing it away. I mean, you're going to have a whole bunch of people jump in the car. I don't believe they're let drive away if you're in the car. That's why many people do it. Then you have to call the cops, and it's a whole scene. I mean, we have another comment from one of you guys talking about his experience. I did repos for 5 years. I really liked it at first, but as the years went on, I got guns pulled on me more and more, dogs let out, bats swung at me, and the cops are very little help unless something's really bad and already happened, because it's a civil matter. It's one thing if you take someone's car and they wander outside with a shotgun pointed at the ground, but it's another when they're pointed at you while they're threatening to shoot. I always had a gun too, but I'm not dealing with legal costs and potential ramifications of shooting someone to make a few $100s on a car. Verbal abuse you get from people while you're just trying to do your job so you can make your own car payment and don't get repoed yourself just wears on you over time. So honestly, this whole situation's a mess. You have tons of people rolling negative equity into already overpriced cars from the past few years and finally not being able to deal with the payments and getting them repoed. But again, it's not completely hands-off where it's just, okay, now I'm at zero, I gotta go find another car. With how some of the vehicles in the car market are right now at auctions, they could be at just bottom of the barrel prices. So some of the vehicles will be sold at auction for way less than what's owed, and you're still on the hook for money. And you don't have a vehicle now. I mean, you're just completely screwed. The other side of it as well, the more depressing side, is somebody gets their vehicle repoed and it's the only thing they have left. They're living in their Nissan Sentra, like we saw with the person with the photo album in the trunk and a rental application in the passenger seat. I mean, unfortunately, that's going to become more and more common as well. But if you were really looking for a job, it looks like a repo man might be a pretty popular business for a while, but it definitely has its setbacks. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. That's all I got for you guys today. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen.
My biggest financial regret that I've ever had in life was purchasing a home back in the 2021 for these things.
Did you know an air conditioner system costs $18,000?
2022, we purchased our first townhome, and it's 2025, and our home has not gained any equity.
So recently we went over how some people are having a difficult time on their home right now in this market with high interest rates and overall high home prices, scaring a lot of people away. I thought it'd also be a good idea to take a look at some people with home buyer's remorse. If you bought over the past couple of years, the market has probably not been kind to you. We have a number of reasons why people are regretting their purchases, along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave the comments down below. But let's just jump right into it.
In 2022, we purchased our first townhome, and it's 2025, and our home has not gained any equity. Nothing at all. I could go into this. I'm still so mad at myself about this. I actually got my real estate license, and I was going to be a realtor. Anyways, I was the one that was the realtor for our purchase. My broker was not helpful at all. Not at all. I made such a big financial mistake. I mean, clearly, right, we have no equity in our home. We overpaid completely. Broker didn't care. She got a nice cut off of our sale. So many things went wrong. Like, so many things. I still can't get over it. Obviously, talking about it, it's 2025. I'm still not over it. I could do a whole series of like this, but it's insane. Anyone have any advice on how to get over these things? Because I don't know how to forgive myself for this financial mistake.
So to me, it kind of sounds like she's just mad that she didn't start gaining money or equity immediately. She probably saw all the clips online of people owning homes before 2020, and of course the prices skyrocketed. So she just kind of expected it to keep happening all the way up to present day, and that's just not the case. Some of the comments, it's been 3 years. Girl, give us a call in 20 years. People got spoiled during COVID and think 40% appreciation is normal. I think it's because you bought a townhome. It does, of course, depend on how much they paid for the townhome, but they said they overpaid, so they're not in a good spot. But overall, single-family homes are definitely more desirable. It's because everyone in 2022 were paying crazy prices with overbidding just because of the low interest rates. I ask you guys as well, do you regret buying your home? Yes, it's now gone from new to a salvage attempt to finally demolition. Now I have to rent again at $13.35 a month. New construction townhouses, and that is a very good transition into the next clip.
Before I could use my mind to move a submarine.
New construction townhouses, and that is a very good transition into the next clip.
My biggest financial regret that I've ever had in life was purchasing a home back in 2021 for these 3 reasons. Number one, I had to put a 30% down payment on my home. My down payment was roughly around $330,000. I bought my 2-bedroom, 3-bath townhome for $900,000. And the reason why we had to put so much down at the time was just because of my income. I was only making around, I think, $100,000 to $110,000. That was the only way we could get the math work. Now, my monthly mortgage payment, if you factor in interest, taxes, HOA, etc., it's roughly around $4,200. If I was renting right now, I could probably rent a really nice 2-bedroom condo or an apartment for $3,500. So that would save me $700 a month. However, had I just not bought a home, I could have taken that $300,000 and $10,000, $20,000 that I used as a down payment and just invested in the stock market. We all know the stock market bottomed in 2022, and man, you see where it is today, right?
Right off the bat, I know this is what everybody says. They should have bought Bitcoin when it was $1,000, right? We'd all be rich. But I thought it was crazy that he bought an almost $1 million townhome while making around $10,000 a month. I don't know if he has a partner that makes significant income or he had some sort of a savings nest egg, something along the lines of that, because the prices just don't add up. But we could go right over to the second part of the video.
Number two, in the market that I live in, renting is actually cheaper than buying a home. Again, as I previously stated, I probably am paying an extra, $700 to $1,000 more per month by owning a home. Renting. And owning a home is 4 years old, so it's actually really good. I'm sure at some point I'm going to have to replace the washer and dryer. Owning a home is not cheap. There are a lot of expenses that come into it. You have to do it yourself. If I lived in an apartment complex, I could call the landlord and then they would send somebody to help me fix the problem.
So he already had to replace his AC in a 3 to 4-year-old construction build. An almost $1 million construction build, might I add, which is a little bit of foreshadowing to what we're going to see later in the video. But rent prices have been going down recently across many cities all over the U.S. So he's currently paying even more money to own a most likely overpriced new construction townhouse and is already having to deal with things breaking like the AC. We're about to see can be extremely expensive as well. But we have a comment from one of you guys. A big way a lot of these people make money is upselling luxury for a big markup with external finishes, but in reality it'll rot and deteriorate in less than 5 years. It's faux luxury. Now the last clip of course didn't show anything about his townhome, but I can almost guarantee it was marketed as a new luxury modern townhome with all the same finishes that you're probably thinking of in your head right now, and unfortunately that put him in a pretty bad spot.
Everybody wants to own a home. I hope everybody gets the chance to own a home. But if you live in a rental or you live in an apartment, whatever, think about You can call the landlord breaks. I mean, did you know an air conditioner system costs $18,000? $18,000. Our air conditioner went out. We live in Bakersfield. It's 100 in Hill in Bakersfield. This air conditioner man came out yesterday. Air conditioner man, $18,000. And we have them home warranties canceled. Just save your money. But when you're thinking about or sad about that you don't have a home yet, think about that. Our house was brand new when we moved in. We had it built. We've been in here for 10 years. I understand you got to keep things up, but $18,000, sir? Mind you, the water heater went out last month. That was like $1,000, but and now my refrigerator has the audacity to feel like it's not getting cold. Stay in your mental.
Owning a home is overrated. Owning a home is like having a car that's about to be paid off, and then all of a sudden stuff wants to start breaking. Get at least 3 quotes for that air conditioner to hopefully bring down the cost under a used car price. Another comment from you, not gonna lie, this helped me feel better about renting right now. I'll take my time finding the right home. Because as I say every time making these videos, I'm of course not against owning a home. I would like to be a homeowner one day, but it doesn't really seem worth it in many cases right now in 2025. But there were so many people who jumped the gun a little too late during COVID, thinking that the prices were just going to constantly skyrocket, or they had a little bit of FOMO, like the first clip. She saw other people gaining equity in their homes very quickly, so she wanted to do the same thing. And now it's been 1,000 days since she bought the townhouse, and it's not increased one bit. But we have another clip up on screen right now. Let me influence you with home ownership. A new HVAC costing $40,000. New water heater was $3,000. Mice in the basement, $150 for traps. Tree trimmings were $6,000. Structural issues that they haven't fixed yet, so that's definitely not going to be cheap. New roof and repointed chimney, another $17,000. I don't even know what to say about that one, man. I mean, you're talking about a minimum of $65,000 to repair the house. I used to own a house, but love calling the landlord for all the issues. But I hate the rent prices at this point. You can't win. You really can't. Another one on screen as well when you bought a house in your early 20s, but it ended up being your worst financial decision, and now you're 24 and can't leave because you have negative equity. So maybe you got approved for a loan that you probably shouldn't have taken. You get in over your head with the repairs on the house, the mortgage, the property taxes, everything that goes along with it. But now you're trapped because you are underwater. So even if you sell it right now, you'll be losing a ton of money. Some of the comments: buy a house with the intent to own it for at least 5 years. You won't see a return on investment if you pay top dollar and turn around and sell it in 2 years. So many people are trying to do that right now. Wait it out is only negative equity if you sell too soon, unless you absolutely need to move. But if you can't afford the current monthly payments right now, what other option is there other than to possibly foreclose? I closed in February of this year, and I can't get over how silly I feel and can't fathom how anyone is so excited to have a home. Times are different now, and owning a home is no longer the same experience. I feel like there should be more research done then before you purchase the most expensive asset you're ever going to own. Now for this next one, I'm going to see into the future, because if anybody buys this home for this price, they are almost guaranteed to be underwater in this house if they try to sell it, because the prices some of these houses are being listed at is just ridiculous.
This home is such a secure investment for first-time home buyers. Look at that new roof on this home. This is listed by Lisa McNally with Milford, and it's under $500,000. It's listed for $460,000. And I'm going to tell you, let's walk inside. Mini split, lighting overhead. There's upgrades that this would not be unlimited for a first-time home buyer. There's a new hot water. It makes the most of 1,028 square feet.
This $39 ion air purifier eliminates all mold in 5 minutes, and nobody believes it's real. No one believed me at first, but now they all want one. My friends made fun of me for buying an ionic air purifier online. They said I got scammed, but then I showed them what it could do. Now they all...
3 beds, 1 bath, and really it makes the most of 1,028 square feet.
Okay, so if the entire beginning of this video is to try to convince everybody who's watching this TikTok that this is a good investment, you won't be underwater, I promise, please, this is fine, please buy this house from me, that probably means you should turn around and run. But we can take a look at some of the comments. That's worth about $149,000. Let's get real. Such a secure investment, it's overpriced by a solid $200,000, overpriced by about $400,000. This is honestly so depressing. It's a $90,000 home, updated shack for $460K. Are we serious right now? I love how the person trying to sell this home is acting like it's a steal. But I mean, it's not really surprising. This, of course, is a realtor account. The job is to try to sell you the homes for the commission checks. I just thought, even from the thumbnail, this is a very tough sell for people when the argument is that it's under $500,000 when it's just a simple house flip that's 1,000 square feet. But this has become so common over the past few years. We just have a clip here. Millennial life perfectly summed up in a single image. House sold in 1999 for $162,000 and then listed up for sale for $1.4 million. I get it. It was almost 25-year difference. Inflation, of course, made everything much more expensive, but still, it almost feels like it's disrespectful for any of the potential buyers. Another comment from you guys: new houses are being built on my street. They delivered all the wood used to build the houses right before a storm, and then the wood sat in 2 feet of water for over a week. I didn't know it was even legal to build a house like that. It's going to have black mold before the house is even finished. Pretty good transition to the next clip that's up on screen right now. More expenses 2 weeks into owning our new home, and they also have a ton of mold everywhere. Even after repairing it and trying to get rid of it, on top of it, a broken ladder being $450, nailed through a copper pipe, it burst, another $225. We could just keep going on and on. POV, you just closed on your dream home. And we have more and more mold throughout the entire house. Whoever owned that house knew all about the mold, yet they denied all allegations, and unfortunately every lawyer we consulted said it's a 50-50 case and it's not worth spending money over. So you just got screwed. I wish we weren't in the same club. A lot of houses in Florida are selling with flood damage. Somebody asking, no inspector? Ironically, we paid for all and every inspection you could think of. We spent thousands. The mold inspector we hired said that it was hard to test mold samples through the air, so the inspections aren't 100%. We tried to sue, but it didn't go well for us, unfortunately. So you could even spend a ton of money on these inspections, and it's still not guaranteed, and they have to deal with all of this. This happened to me as well. I was so angry and upset. Same thing happened to us 7 years ago. I'm still fixing things little by little. Another comment from you guys: in Sweden, part of the package, if you hire an inspector, is an inspection insurance. So if something goes wrong that an inspection should have caught, you could claim it on said insurance. This means more misses an inspector has, the higher his premiums are going to get, so he will either need to take less of a cut, or he's going to need to raise prices, not making him competitive price-wise. And in the end, for a consumer, it doesn't matter, since you'll get your stuff fixed on someone else's dime. If we also had that kind of stuff in the US, we would see a lot less examples of this online, but all I'm seeing are housing prices just going higher and higher.
Now, I'm no real estate expert, but I have never seen a sign that says starting from the low millions. Usually it's a couple 100,000, but the millions is crazy. This is what an unfinished $1 million home looks like. This is what it looks like finished. Worth $1 million? I don't know. That's the size of your backyard for an M. Somebody got some money because they are selling these things. No, I'm not feeling how fast they putting together these $1 million homes. I bet you my skinny self could punch through that.
It should be brick for $1 million plus. I agree. They robbed all of us. Whoever's paying millions to live in Exton, PA, needs to reevaluate their decisions. Did I just see siding? One window on the side of a house for $1 million? And again, no backyard, no land. I really just don't get it. We have a comment from one of you guys: I was approved for a $350,000 mortgage, but refused to buy anything over $200,000. My mortgage is $745. Over $4,000 is crazy. As I said earlier, people are getting approved for loans that they probably shouldn't, and then buying a $1 million new construction bill that's basically made out of paper mache. Then it starts immediately falling apart, possibly getting mold having to pay 4 or 5 figures out of pocket on top of the ridiculous mortgage price to begin with. But it seems like people are getting hounded, especially if you watch these types of videos. Another comment, clicked on this video and immediately got an ad for a bank lending out loans for mortgages. And people have been seeing these high prices for such a long time that we're starting to get desensitized. I think I finally got inflation desensitization. Caught myself saying that's not too bad out of $400,000 house that sold for $135 in 2019. Some of the comments, bought a 12-pack of soda today, $11 at Safeway. I remember like it was yesterday when Safeway had a 2 for $7 deal with 12 packs. I used to think a $170,000 house in 2019 was expensive, and it won't go back. It really sucks. I've been saying that about cars lately. $40,000 isn't bad, and people actually buy them. It's the funniest part of all. And in this video, we're seeing the consequences of that as well. My parents bought my childhood home for $60,000 back in 97. The house was built in 1966. They sold it in 2018 for $187,000. That house is now $325,000. The area is ghetto. I don't even know what to say anymore because I have so many more examples for this video.
Have you ever wondered what America's worst housing market is? Well, the Wall Street Journal just called it out. America's worst housing market is now officially Florida's Cape Coral, according to the Wall Street Journal. And as somebody who studies real estate pretty close around the country, I'm not surprised. Out there has been getting, I mean, here's a graph, that same article showing the change in the median housing price in the area Europe. As you can see during COVID, during the times of cheap, things went through the roof, and then once inflation hit in mid-2022, prices came back down to earth, and now that we're in 2025, things are starting to change for the worse. In fact, the number of homeowners who are underwater on their houses, meaning they owe more than what the house is worth, is approaching 8%, so that's not good. And then this is especially wild, but this is a picture back from 2009, where you can get a foreclosure boat tour, so you can hop on a pontoon boat with your friends and ride around the canals of Cape Coral and look at houses that are getting foreclosed on to see if you want to buy your next vacation house.
So I know that Florida is probably one of the biggest examples of real estate crashing right now, but this is happening throughout many cities all over the country. I know Austin's also taking a hit. Basically, a lot of the popular areas where people moved during COVID, bringing up the home prices very quickly. And now, unfortunately, if you bought at the wrong time, you're probably underwater.
The last 5 years. Listen,
bringing up the home prices very quickly, and now unfortunately, if you bought at the wrong time, you're probably underwater.
I bought a house in 23, and there's a bunch of girls tell me about buying a house, by the way. Or maybe they do, maybe I'm just dumb and didn't do any research, but in case you didn't know, here's some, no one told you about buying a house. Your mortgage can increase. Your mortgage is not stable. It can increase because every year your property taxes and your insurance increase. So that mortgage that's going to be so nice because it's not going to increase like your rent. No, it also increases. Your mortgage is going to be the least of your problems. Your house is going to have so many problems. There are so many things that can go wrong that you've never even thought about. That has never even crossed your mind. I don't want to know. Actually, I kind of do know. I actually might add it up. How much I've spent on house repairs this year. 1 year alone. I've only owned a house for like and just now there's another problem. I have like water leaking into one of my rooms in my basement from the ground. I don't even really know what's going on.
That sounds another example of somebody purchasing probably the most expensive thing they're going to buy in their lifetime and not really doing any research. I just don't get it. People do it with vehicles all the time. They unknowingly purchase a very unreliable car just because they like the way it looks or the manufacturer, the badge at the front and back, and then depreciation hits them like a ton of bricks. The maintenance cost is through the roof and they're surprised. I would say a home is exponentially worse because you're paying way more money than you did for that Jeep Wrangler or something along that.
My mortgage payment went up nearly $1,000 because my property taxes only tripled.
from last year to this year. So let's talk about it. I bought a house last year, May of 2024 in South Florida. I purchased it with FHA at a 6.625 interest rate at a 30-year fix. Now my mortgage payment alone, just with principal and interest, was $2,277.05. It's important to note that that's not what I'm going to pay the lender every month, because you have to add on top of that your property taxes, insurance, and that's held in escrow. Escrow is a separate account managed by your mortgage lender, which holds the funds for when it's time for you to pay your property taxes and home insurance. As stated in the beginning of the video, my property taxes for 2025 tripled, which now makes my mortgage payment $4,002.
First mistake being Florida. They try to convince us buying is the best way of life. Nope, never again. This is not the only problem we've seen with escrow as well. There were many examples of people having to pay over $1,000 or $2,000 more a month on top of their mortgage and everything else, and most people couldn't afford that. We got an image up on screen right now. Tell me your worst mistake as a homeowner. I'm talking hindsight is 2020, most costly, time-sucking blunder that could have saved you years off of your life. Never use the inspector that the realtor recommends. Ever. Don't buy a house with an HOA. You don't need a giant house to be happy. D.R. Horton Builder, enough said. Don't buy in a flood zone. I don't care if the home had never had water before. Just don't do it. Nothing wrong with buying a small, affordable house when it was decades ago. Underestimating how expensive everything is. I knew owning a home would be expensive, but I didn't realize everything would cost in Oregon. I don't know. Every time I make one of these videos, it scares me even more about buying one day.
I am coming up on 2 years of owning my house, and there's definitely a lot of things I didn't consider when we that I now definitely regret. Number one, neighborhood over everything. The area, the location is the most important factor. The neighborhood I purchased my house in was in either of my top 2 or 3 neighborhoods in Minneapolis, and I should never have veered away from them. My house in those neighborhoods would have been like $100,000 more, so it would have been out of my budget. And I wish I would have just like stepped back and figured out how to make that work, because right now I'd rather be paying any amount of money more to be living in one of those neighborhoods. Second regret is I didn't really consider how big the yard was. My house is on like a double long lot, so my yard is huge and it is way too much work for just me.
I just feel like these would be issues that would be thought about before you purchase. You're in a neighborhood that you don't really want to be in, but it is cheaper overall. But it sounds like it makes her incredibly unhappy. And then wouldn't you take a look at the lawn before you purchased and realize that you're going to have to do all of this yourself, or at least hire someone to do it? I don't know. I just don't really get it. So with a lot of these issues and increasing costs, people are trying to sell their houses right now and not having a good time doing so.
My husband and I are in the middle of trying to sell our house, but this market right now is absolutely horrible. Our house has been on the market since like the middle of March, and it's about to be June tomorrow, and still hasn't sold. We've had to drop the price, I think 3 times. Yeah, 3 or 4 times at this point. And we're just noticing a lot of houses in our area are doing the same thing. They're just sitting on the market and just having to continually drop the price. And they're great homes, and they were priced fine. But I don't know, just with everything that's going on in the market, I think people are afraid to buy. Obviously, interest rates are really high. It's just been a lot. We've had so many open houses, and what's really hard is like today I'm solo parenting, so I have 2 under 2 plus our dog. So, and it's like almost 100 degrees outside, and I have to be out the house for 3 hours.
I think everything that you need to know about clip is summed up in the screenshot, because this TikTok was made located in Southern California. I can't imagine how expensive all of these homes are, even though she thinks that they're all reasonably priced. But if that was the case, people would be buying those homes right now, and they're not. Surprise, surprise, in this high cost of living climate, people don't have $1 million to buy a shack in Southern California right now, so you're going to have to do a lot more price drops to actually sell your home.
We are probably going to lose money on this when we sell this with us when he came around to value our house. Now in hindsight, we probably paid too much money for this house when we bought it in 2022. issue. And although we've done a fair bit of work to the house, we actually probably won't make any money on this house when we sell it. So is it really worth selling it at this point in time? Probably logically the answer is no, but in my heart of hearts I still know that we want to move house, which is why I'm trying to keep on top of the cleaning and the tidying so that we can get estate agent photos done soon and officially put our house on the market, ready to get it sold.
So you're willingly going in knowing that you're going to lose money just because in their heart of hearts they want to move. There didn't seem to be any reasoning or explanation other than that. Some people's decisions to me are just crazy. Both are done the homeowner, at least for now, right? You're going to go, depending on down in price over the past year or so, but that doesn't mean it's still not wildly expensive.
Can somebody tell me if I'm tripping? Like, $2,500 for a one bedroom, 730 square feet. $3,190. So $3,190 for 830. And then keep scrolling. Hold on. Where's the number? Down here, $5,000 for 950 square feet. Now, 950.
Where I used to live in New Jersey, a town near where I grew up that, to be honest, is not the best area, is building those new luxury apartments that are being rented out anywhere from $3,000 to $4,500 a month. I really don't know how anybody does it up in the Northeast, and that's why I moved away. But as we saw in a comment earlier in this video, you really can't win. The overall cost of home ownership is way too much for people, but you turn to the other side with the rental prices, and they're still ridiculously expensive as well. We're just basically in a lose-lose situation right now. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.
If you're here in the greater Indianapolis area and looking for a solution to heat your home this winter, inside this garage we found what
say. I'll take a little bathroom break. car. Some dream to own this, while others work their entire lives just to be able to potentially buy one. And with only 30,000 original miles and being hidden away from the world for the last 19 years, we found the Porsche 930 Turbo.
Oh my God. You didn't tell me it was a 930. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say here. This is a real 930 Turbo. All right, guys, we are here with our friend Clark, who invited us to his incredible warehouse because he has a really special car in the back garage that he wants to show us. This place is amazing, man.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's crazy. How long did it take you to collect all these signs?
I've collected for years and years, but they accumulate and then they rotate constantly. I buy, sell, we restore, and if someone walks in and they fall in love with it, I'll sell anything. That's my motto, is I'll sell anything. So
it all looks so cool, though. I mean, I guess if you have plenty of other signs to swap and change them out.
We like to curate it and give a vibe of a space, but also I don't want someone to walk in 6 months and look at the same thing. I think it's important that every time you come in here, you see a totally different look.
That's cool. It sounds like a lot of work. You mind if we take a walk through?
Yeah, come on in.
So when was the last time that this car was cleaned?
As far as I know, it's at minimum 20 years since it's been on the road.
Holy crap.
Hi, this is Joe, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, click the link below and get a cash offer in less than 24 hours. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in
No, it's at minimum 20 years since it's been on the road.
Holy crap. Wow. Look. Oh my God. You didn't tell me it was a 930. It is a turbo. Sometimes they take the Carreras and they just put the whale tail on it.
No,
oh my God, it's a real 930 turbo. Yeah. And a Porsche 1600 Super. Holy crap.
Yeah, this is a 56 Beehive taillight car. It's the first year for the A model.
Wow.
And the last year for the Beehive taillights.
Holy crap. I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say here. This is a real 930 turbo too.
Real 930, all original paint, 30,000 miles. It's a 1981.
Super nice condition.
It's in great shape.
Yeah.
There's a few little issues with the body, nothing crazy, a couple little paint bubbles. But overall, as an original car, it's pretty well preserved.
What's the story on this car? How'd you acquire it?
I do a lot of deals with a local guy here who owns a dealership. He called me, and he had 3 cars that he really had no interest in going through and getting running and stuff like that. So it was my time to scoop them up.
So that included the 930 turbo, and then is that a S500? What is that?
It's actually Mercedes E500, a 94 E500. It looks pretty mundane, but it's actually a pretty rare car. It was combined built from Mercedes and Porsche. 94, I believe, is the last year for this style. I think they were 92 to 94, and I think in 1994, this car was almost 90 grand.
Holy crap.
This was here with it, and the 91, this is a 944 Cabriolet.
I don't think I've ever seen a Cabriolet before.
I haven't either. But
looks weird not being
better in person. I've never really liked these cars too much, but seeing this car in person and seeing how wide it is and everything, it has a great stance.
Yeah, it's a totally different curb appeal compared to the standard 944, especially without the hatch.
Yeah, it doesn't have that big bubble glass window.
This is also a beautiful color. I didn't realize. I thought this was black initially, but it looks like a slate gray.
It's almost the color like a slate gray.
Yeah, it was beautiful looking in too. This is an incredible car. This is a grail car for me. This is one of the cars that I always dreamt of having. I have Legos in the shop of 930 turbos. I have a silhouette on the wall of the 930 turbo.
Oh, so this is like your...
Yeah,
this is your jam here.
Yeah, this is something that I've always wanted a Porsche, but I wanted to do Porsche before I look at old air-cooled Porsches.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is really, really far away. Maybe one day it'll be my retirement car, but I gotta work a lot more before I can afford something like this. But this is insane. So what's the plan?
I'm usually just a hustler. I'm just constantly still in my budget where I don't feel like it's. So my goal, I think, after it's gone through, is full engine out service and just go through the whole car to make sure that it's ready to go. Also, keep it as original as possible. You have a couple different sets of aftermarket wheels from the time period that put one on this car. So I may play around swapping the wheels just like that 80s, 90s custom look, but I think original is always best, so I wouldn't go too crazy on this side.
Now this is a wonderful car, amazing car at that, but is it a holy grail car for me? No, I know that you do love the 930 Turbo, and this is a pretty sweet car, I gotta say. When this car came out, it was so advanced for its time, especially on the track. I've gotten to work on a couple, actually pretty early on in my career, so I fell in love.
suspension. So it's really cool to actually have one in the shop. I'm really excited to take it with me. It's interesting to me because we did have like 356, which is the early iteration before the 911 was the 911, and to see all the differences, especially in this high performance model. They really went all out on this car. It's super wide, super rested. Like this is absolutely not only for the factory. It is a car that you would aspire to own, that you dream of, or like Mike, is a car that before we start to walk out, it's like, look, ooh, we have another steering wheel. Wait. So which one belongs to? I think the one that's in is the actual one that belongs to it. Actually, I think it's reversed. I think really? If I'm not mistaken, that looks like a nice little book. That was the original one, yeah. Let's look down the flare. Well, that other one, if you notice the stitching is all messed up. They did a lot of time. They like cut it all off to redo it. Well, yeah, I think that's the original one. But what do you guys think? Is the one that's in the car original, or is this the original one? Let us know, because I don't know. It's also missing the big cardboard piece that goes over here. So usually these fronts look a little bit nicer. Unfortunately, this one is missing some of the structural components. But nonetheless, it's always cool to have a car with the front. All right, first things first, we're going to get started with the wheels on the Porsche. These are the iconic Fuchs wheels, which everyone loses their mind for. These are the 16-inch wheels. You can tell because of the 5 pedal spokes as well as the large outer lip. And we're going to be using our iron moving wheel cleaner, our purple rain wheel cleaner, to break down any brake dust that's on the wheel. And I will be using our tire cleaner to break down any of the tire blooming and obviously all the dirt that is on the tires. Granted, these tires probably need to be swapped out anyway, but for presentation purposes, you gotta make sure they're clean. Later in the video, we're gonna put the car on the lift and then we'll remove the wheels, make sure that we get these barrels as clean as we possibly can, and then clean up the wheel wells as well as all the brake components and the chassis.
Stop buying generic Viagra if you're over 60. You qualify for 9 tablets of 100 milligram generic.
Get these barrels as clean as we possibly can, and then clean up the wheel wells as well as all the brake components and the chassis.
Okay, Mike, now before we actually wash the back of the car, I feel like we should take care of the engine so we don't get all of this wet and it makes it a nightmare later.
That's for sure. We definitely should. So we're going to be vacuuming out all of this fine needle before we get to the engine cleaning. But, I mean, if you're watching this video, you should know about this car, but I have to reiterate how much of a performance car this was and why it earned its name as the Widowmaker. This thing was about 3,000 pounds or less and rear-wheel drive. And this H6 motor is turboed and makes 300 horsepower for 1981. That is a ton. This was the original Widowmaker. This thing was flying back in the day and actually very dangerous to drive. Very similar to the early generation Vipers, which had 400 horsepower rear-wheel drive that were super dangerous.
What's different between this motor and the Beetle from the time?
Well, the Beetle, I mean, they're both rear engine and they're both H-style motors, but that's a 4-cylinder. No turbo, both air-cooled, so this is still air-cooled, which is pretty cool, but makes nowhere near as much power, like 1/6 of the horsepower or something like that. Yeah.
I think before we clean it though, one last thing, we've been noticing all over the car, there's tiny little emblems everywhere, which you would never notice unless you're either under the car or this is up. but this was hidden on the whale tail kind of.
Yeah, no, I really like that. I think the whale tail is awesome. I really love that. It's that foam texture. It's really cool. And then that's pretty sweet that you open it. It's just sits right up top. It's totally hidden when it's loaded.
Okay, so let's get this vacuumed out now, and then later we'll come back with our citrus degreaser and actually clean the engine.
Yep.
If you think it might rain later, then I'll heavy storm rain jacket. Grade packable rain jacket that's versatile enough to cover it.
Moving on to the interior of this 911 Turbo, I gotta say it's quite a nice place to be. I love the setup here. The tachometer in the center, speedometer right next to it. It's a little bit hard to see because the steering wheel kind of blocks, but it doesn't matter what time it is here in the 911. But I know that a lot of 911s, I think all 911s, have the ignition on this left side here. Now, is that something that you guys like? Because to it being on the right and I'm right-handed,
and I just feel like I don't like also pronunciation of this, but I want